Do you want to introduce it with my intro?
No.
Hello, you gorgeous individuals. It's Cobb here, and today I am here to Hello, that's not my intro. Hello, you gorgeous individuals. It's Cobb here, and today I'm here to expose myself.
Oh shit, this has been on the whole time.
Hello, you gorgeous individuals. It's Cobb here, and today I am here to expose myself. By which I mean, I'm going to be sharing some of my old, terrible, really terrible fanfiction with you all, because I like pain, and I've decided to take you on this journey with me. But not only have I decided to put both of us through this very torturous experience, I've decided to drag my friend Andrew into it as well.
Hey, it's me, I'm back. I crawled out of the hobbit hole from whence I've been living in, and I'm here to experience all the bad feels.
So, as many of you know, Andrew and I went to middle school together.
Yes, we did.
And during our middle school experience, we both thought we were really fancy writers.
Well, that's generous, but we did write.
We did write. We wrote alone, we wrote together, and today we're here to join our pasts and share some of our terrible fanfiction with you all. Because then, in the future, once we become published authors, it'll at least be better than whatever's in this video. We have not looked at what we've picked out of the holes in our room. We're gonna be reading them with you all on screen for the first time in a long while.
And who knows, maybe there'll be a part 2, because there is a legendary collection that we took out and we read separately by ourselves, and that is nowhere to be found. I think that is probably the grace of whatever higher power is out there.
I think that's also probably the most iconic one though, because it has some terrible Spanish in it.
Oh man. We better make a part 2 of this.
We better.
I'm gonna scour my room for that.
But first, we have to get through part 1. So let's dive right into it. When we started reading some of our work, there are some problematic themes in there. We would just like to say, we do not condone any of this.
All these problems come from ignorance, not intentionally being nasty people. We just really didn't know anything.
We were idiotic 12-year-olds.
Things that seemed like cool romantic tropes are actually not cool at all.
And really this video is just for fun, to make fun of our writing. In no way are we condoning any of that.
The irony is we're also Airways. Or I am.
You're Airways. I'm a raging lesbian. So the tea is, please don't cancel us. We've canceled the 12-year-old versions of ourselves.
So you don't have to.
The almost 18-year-old versions of ourselves here now. We're 6 years older, 6 years wiser. Please understand that by no means do we mean to promote this kind of problematic trope. We're making fun of ourselves and not the use of these problematic themes.
I mean, oh my god, technically we're publishing this. That's cursed.
Now we have a whole stack of Harry Potter fanfiction to go through. Delicious. And do you want to know the real tea on this?
What's the real tea?
So it has since been deleted, but I actually published part of this onto fanfiction.net back in the day.
Did anyone read it? I'm curious.
No. I did actually publish a Jason Alec one-shot, not together. They weren't being gay, which I do support that. That actually did get reads. The real tea about that is, I published it in honor of Jamie Campbell Bower's birthday, who played Jason the movie.
That's offensive.
So like, I wrote a Jason Alec one-shot about how they became Parvati. It's since been deleted and I have no copies of it, and I'm very thankful for that. But it did get reads. I remember having like 3 comments on it.
Really?
But this Harry Potter fanfiction rightfully did not get any reads. See,
wow.
The difference between you and I is at least you stapled your papers so they were in some sort of order.
Yeah.
I just wrote them on random pieces of binder paper and put them together so they're not in any kind of order. There's a part in here that was handwritten by you.
I wrote Harry Potter fanfiction.
And there's a part in here that was handwritten by our middle school best friend.
We really, initiated people into the cult of our shitty writing.
The only context I have for this is that I wrote an original character and I made her end up with George.
Who's George?
George Weasley.
Oh, I forgot we're in this universe now.
Here's the thing. At some point I was actually trying to make this a story, a bad story nonetheless, but a story. But now I just have pages of what I decided to title George Aura Fluff.
Oh, okay. So this is the good stuff.
There's a lot happening here and we're just gonna start reading. I apologize in advance for the horrible accent that's about to follow. I was sitting with Lee, Fred, George, Harry, Luna, Cho, and Ginny in a compartment of the train playing Ultimate Truth. Ron and Hermione were off on prefect duties. Aurora, Fred said deviously, if you could snog anyone in this room, who would you pick? Shit. My face was probably redder than a tomato. Fred knows who I would pick, and they're sitting next to each other. What if I chose not to answer that question? I attempted. He smirked. He smirked. I know one of us would be very disappointed. He looked pointedly at George. This is too heterosexual for me. Oh, George, he is the most adorable guy ever. His sense of humor and smile always cheer me up when I'm upset. His freckles and hair and eyes and everything are amazing. His personality, he can relate to me so much, but not too much. And he's just perfectly imperfect. Suddenly, George just leaves the room muttering something. I should probably go after him. I think I hear my mother calling. I stammer and leave. I barely notice their quizzical looks as I catch up with George in a separate compartment. We sit there silently and very awkwardly for a minute until we bump and I sort of fall on him. Bloody hell, I'm so sorry, I say, sitting up. He shrugs. It's fine, I don't mind, he mutters. So, I say. What was Fred talking about? Oh, nothing, he replies. George, what was Fred talking about? There are periods after every word.
I was like, what is happening here? This is so dramatic.
Well, I really like you as more than a friend, and I have for a while now. I mean, I remember how beautiful you were on the day of the Yule Ball, George, but you're beautiful too, now too, and I can't do this in a British accent. Well, I really like you as more than a friend, and I have for a while now. I mean, I remember how beautiful you were on the day of the Yule Ball, George, stop. But now you're beautiful now too, and I mean, I'm not usually here, George, but you're different, and most of the time I really want to kiss you, and I roll my eyes and cut him off by kissing him. It was a short and sweet kiss, and I leaned back quickly, but it was worth it. For the record, I really want to kiss you too, I reply. He smiles. I should ramble more often.
No, please don't.
Please just do... My voice trails off at the end. I was gonna say don't, but I leaned into his beautiful eyes and couldn't, because his rambling was actually cute. Well, he stops and starts to take hold of hand. Wait, shouldn't we have one of these intimate conversations? I ask. Crap, what did I just say? This next line, George says, is literally copied from a quote of a Pretty Little Liar. He raises his eyebrows. Did you just say intimate? I look down and cover my mouth with my hand. He laughs and grabs my other hand, pulling me up so that we end up standing centimeters from each other. I lean in and kiss him again, and he places his hands on my waist, then deepening the kiss, I wrap my arms around his neck. The reason this is all so bad is because we're not straight. We have another George Aura scene to add. This is what every teenage high school girl goes through. Gosh, my hair is really crappy today. I mutter to myself as I try to fix it. I love your hair, I hear someone say as he sits down next to me. I look and see my boyfriend George grinning. Why are you in such a good mood today? I reply. He raises an eyebrow at my fretting with my hair and then answers, Fred and my sales are going really great.
Can we just stop and guess what he's gonna say? Oh, don't worry, baby. Your hair looks pretty all the time.
And stop doing that. Your hair is beautiful. I laugh and let go of my hair, leaning over to kiss him. He returns the kiss immediately when all of a sudden we're joined by another one. I ship you two so hard, Fred says, thumping his brother on the back. And the two of us break away immediately. Fred, I snap, my face heating up. Oh, don't mind me, he says. I always find my own ways to slip into the conversation. You know, slither in.
I was just gonna say, I'm surprised you didn't make the Slytherin pun. Why do I know you so well?
This is why I've dealt with self-hatred for years. Because I wrote fat shit like this.
H3K 1/4 George and Aurora flop. I don't know what the fuck that means, but
That says heck yeah.
oh my throat.
Harry Potter fanfiction, heck yeah! I headed to Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes in the morning since I haven't gotten many chances to visit Fred and George. As I don't have any grading or other tasks to work on and my lessons aren't until evening, why not? I head inside and notice a really pretty teenager attempting to flirt with George. Oh no! This is that horrid trope when like anyone talks to your significant other, you get jealous and possessive, which is unhealthy!
I feel like what we were doing was basically just, we didn't really understand how anything works, so we would turn to media and TV and take any trope we saw and just run with it and do it every single time. Which I think really just goes to show that, like, especially on younger teens, media is really impactful, and if you have a trope that is like problematic and it really does like get into people's heads, like kids think it's okay. So I don't know what the moral of the story is, but like basically just stop.
So you made this love potion, right? She asked, putting her arm at the table and smiling flirtily at him. He nodded. Yeah, I did. Well, she giggled, compliments to the chef. Thanks, he said awkwardly, picking up on her flirting. Can I try it out on someone? That's it. I'm trying to be patient, but this is stupid. I walk up to them. Yeah, you can totally try it out, but not on my boyfriend. She narrows his eyes at me, then turns back to George. You have a girlfriend? Yup, he replies, about to say something else when she interrupts him. Well, I don't mind. She smiles. Who flirts with the guy of his girlfriend? Well, I do, I snap. She glares at me. I thought the customer is always right. Could you just pay for the potion? George interrupts. She rolls her eyes and drops the potion. This door blows. The potion shatters as George turns to me. Sorry about that. Does this usually happen? I'm only curious. Well, he scoffs. I am quite the lady attractor. I rolled my eyes and stared at him. Well, he said, that's actually the first time it's happened. Even if, and it's done.
That's it.
So, this fanfiction, it has a title. It's called The Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, this is one of the most polished things I think you ever wrote.
So here's the situation. I typed this bad boy up. I wrote a whole 4 chapters. I brought him to school in a special binder. I was so proud of this. And a few weeks ago, I was going through some old stuff because I was cleaning my room. And I came upon this fanfiction, and that's actually what
you
gave me...
almost called it a work, and you said fanfiction.
And that's actually what gave me the idea for this video, because I reread this, and I realized that it's absolutely terrible. All of my other work, I'm like, that's bad. Like, that's bad. No one should read that. Mm-hmm. And now you all have. But I was self-aware of how terrible those were. But this one, I was like, this is some good writing. I am proud of my work, and it's terrible. So,
I think when I was reading this, I was like, this is good, and I was telling you, like, reassuring you, and you're like, hell yeah, it is.
Here comes The Lethal Weapon.
Prologue. 10-year-old Ariana and 11-year-old Nate. Ariana screams, help, it's coming for me! No answer. Silence. The demon goes to her bed and hisses, human flesh, human blood. To eat, oh to eat. It looks like a cross between an alligator and an octopus and a centipede, Ariana thinks. But now I'm gonna die. I'm only 10 and I'm gonna die. I'm too young. I barely even started my shadow hunting training. It's all Connor's fault. I'll never forgive him for my death. If he wasn't such an attention hog, I might not have died this way. All of a sudden, the door opens and Ariana sees Nate run in with the seraph blade in one hand and a dagger in the other. He takes the seraph blade and yells, Ithuriel! Ariana recognized that name. It's the name of the angel whom Valentine captured and Jace helped free him by letting him kill himself. The demon staggers back and falls, but is still slightly alive. Nate takes the dagger and throws it onto the demon's eye, and takes another dagger and throws it into the demon's heart, or whatever. The demon hisses as it disappears. Ariana looks up at Nate with scared eyes. Nate looked back at her sympathetically and said, come on, Anna, I'll clean this up later. Let's get you to bed. Oh, also please tell me there's no romance in this. He took her back to her bed and tucked her in while singing a song she didn't know, but it soothed her. That was the day she fell in love with her cousin's best friend.
I would just like to say that you can't fall in love at 10 years old. And also, I love how my idea of a strong female character was, let's have the big strong man come in and save her.
Wait, you were trying to make her be a strong female lead? So cliche, right? The handsome hero comes and saves the damsel in distress. Of course the hero is someone she can't get to, but eventually they fall in love and live happily ever after. No, but this isn't a fairy tale. Nate kissed Ariana on the forehead and whispered, "Good night, Anna." Ariana had been called many things before. This is where you actually just list nicknames because you enjoyed writing them so much.
They're so bad!
Ari, Aria, Baby, Little Kid, Gem, Emerald Eyes, but never Anna. That became Nate's special nickname for her. She loved the way he said it. She loved everything about him, she thought, as she fell asleep, but that's when the nightmare started. You now have, at the top of the page, written the word story. Chapter 1. My name is Ariana Isabel Lightwood. I am the daughter of Cecily and Gabriel Lightwood. I'm 17 years old. I go to Alicante High School in Idris.
Did I just make up Alicante High School? Because that doesn't exist.
It's a school for shadow hunters, which is what I am. A shadow hunter. Brooke, my BFF, yells, "Ari, we're gonna be late for our first day. Come on." "I'm coming," I reply. "Better get down there. You don't want to keep Brooke waiting." I grab my bag and head down. Brooklyn, Brooke, Cecily Herondale is my cousin, best friend, and Parabasai. And as you can see, Brooke's middle name is Cecily, my mom's name. My middle name, Isabel, is her mom's name. Isabel is my mom's best friend and my dad's cousin. So Brooke and I are technically second cousins, but we're really close. You have to be really close to be Parabasai. Brooke asks, "Ready?" "As ready as I'll ever be," I reply. Then I turn to my parents and say, "Bye Mom, bye Dad, I'll see you guys for Thanksgiving." Also, if they're living in Europe, why would they celebrate Thanksgiving? My mom replies, "Bye sweetheart, have a good time at school, bye Brooke, bye Ari, bye Brooke." My dad hugs both of us. We smile and wave as we head to the car. After a little while, we reach Alicante High, the school for shadow hunters. By the time we're out of the car, we're ambushed by a bunch of people. "Hey Brooke," Connor, my cousin, says. He grabs her and they start making out. Hold up a second. If Brooke is her cousin, and Connor is her cousin...
Okay. Yeah, so, I know what you're thinking. They're cousins on separate sides. Connor is her cousin on her mom's side, and Brooke is her cousin on her dad's side.
What?
There is no incest involved.
Good. Ew, gross. Get a room, my friend Nat says. Connor rolls his eyes and lets go of Brooke. He turns to me and says, "Hey, cuz, do you guys need help with your bags?" Brooke smiles and asks, "Could you and Nate," his Parabasai, "take our bags to our door? We need to sign in." "Sure," Connor says. He and Nate take our bags, and the others follow them. "So what's the deal with you and Nate?" Brooke asks. "What do you mean? Nate and I are just friends." "He was, totally checking you out, and it's no secret you have a crush on him." I roll my eyes. The secret lesbian rage. There is no way Nate likes me. He was probably just looking at me to distract himself from the disgusting sight that is you and Connor sucking each other's faces off. She just grins and replies, "Don't be in denial, sweetie." "What the heck? Sweetie?" "Come on." She grabs my arm and pulls me to the sign-in table. She smiles at Charlotte, our principal, history teacher, and family friend. She says, "Brooke Verloc and Ari Lightwood." "Brooke, Aria, it's great to see you," Charlotte says as she checks our names. "Thanks, Charlotte, you too," I reply. Okay, so you both are in dorm G, in parentheses, girl, capital F, in parentheses, row, 9 in parentheses, number. With Natalia and Audrey. "Thanks, Charlotte. See you," Brooke says, and grabs my arm and pulls me away. We get to our dorm and see everyone there as promised. I'm not reading this out loud because I feel like that doesn't need to happen. But here's a visual of it's really just 3 lines for every single character. Every single character. And then there's me. I have long black hair and green eyes. Everyone tells me I'm beautiful, so I guess that's what I am.
Literally, she's that main character who's like, "I'm not pretty, I hate myself," and then a guy swoops in and is like, "You're pretty," and she's like, "Oh my god!"
You're like, "Oh my god." I'm certainly not ugly, but beautiful might be a little too strong. And I'm stubborn, fierce, and such. Connor looks at me. "Heaven to Ariana, what are you writing?" I hate this. This is hell. He grabs my diary and reads to Connor James Herondale. I snap, "Give it back, Connor." Connor looks at me and says, "But this is really interesting." Brooke laughs and says, "Come on, Connor, give it back to her." He rolls his eyes and gives me the book. Someone knocks on the door. Connor says, "I'll get it. It's probably one of my many fangirls anyway."
I hate him.
We all roll our eyes as Connor walks over to the door to open it. At the door is Charlotte, standing with a boy who looks about our age and has the same black hair and blue eyes as my Uncle Will and Mom. Connor greets Charlotte. Charlotte, hi, what can we do for you? Charlotte smiles and replies, hello. I hope you've all had a wonderful summer. We have a new student here and I was hoping that you would all be willing to show him around, considering you know the school the best. Before Connor can reply, Nate says, sure, we'd love to. Charlotte thanks us and leaves the boy with us. He introduces himself. Hi, my name is Jacob William Jace Herondale, but most people call me Jake. It's nice to meet you. Connor says, if everyone calls you that, then it's hardly an special favor to me, isn't it? I suppose, are any of you guys going to introduce yourself? Connor says, my name is Connor Herondale. These are my cousins Ariana, me, and Natalia, my girlfriend Brooke, and my Parabatai, Nate, and our other friends Caleb, Landon, Scarlett, Audrey, Daniel, Hannah, Dylan, and Maddie. Why are you listing everybody? Why are all of you living in the same dorm? Why is it gendered if everyone's there? How can you be a Herondale as well? My mother told me that I had no aunts or uncles, Jake asks. Brooke says, that's what we want to know. This really is awkward. Jacob looks like a mini version of my Uncle Will. He has the same black hair and blue eyes as my mom and Uncle Will, but the only other Herondale is Jace, and we know that Nat is his only kid. To top it all off, Dylan is looking at Jacob like he recognizes him, and Jacob is avoiding looking at Dylan. What is happening? Jacob and Dylan also look similar. They have the same facial structure and the same hair. What the fuck? Nate breaks the awkward silence and says, not to be intrusive or anything, but who is your mother? Ella Herondale, Jacob replies. Nat and Audrey gasp. I say, but that's impossible. Ella Herondale has been dead since before my friends and I were born. Connor asks, are you sure it's not just someone posing as Ella Herondale? I think I would know who my own mother is, thank you very much, Jacob snaps. Caleb mutters, wow, he even has the Herondale temper. What was that? Nat, Connor, and I say. Jacob interrupts us and says, I don't know what kind of prank you guys are trying to pull or whatever, but it's really rude. My mother is Ella Herondale. She's going through enough being a single shadow hunter mother trying to raise her son without some stupid teenagers telling her that she's posing as someone else. Hannah snaps. Stupid! You don't know who you're talking to here. Connor's parents had an institute. My parents are in charge of the biggest London vampire clan.
Also, why are there vampires and werewolves in a school for shadow hunters? What was I doing?
Landon's mother is second in charge of a wolf pack, and his father is the Praetor Lupus. Caleb's dad is the High Warlock of Brooklyn. Don't call us stupid teenagers. It's not our fault that your mother's lying. Dylan says, Hannah, stop. This is really confusing for all of us, and it's not going to help if we start fighting each other. How about we just let Jacob try to get to know us and show him around like Charlotte asked? We're planning on going secret demon hunting. Secret demon hunting tomorrow. Wanna come? It's not gonna much of a secret if you tell everyone, Dylan, Landon says. Scarlett says, give him a break. He's trying to include Jacob, which is more than any of you are doing. Jacob says, I'll come. Just tell me where and when. He leaves. Scarlett says, he never found out where and when. Nate says, you don't trust anyone, Connor. Anyway, give him a chance. If he still seems sketchy after tomorrow, we can do something about it. But we need to find out how his mother is my dead aunt, Nat says. Nate replies, and we will, but is interrogating him till he runs away really the best way to approach it? Something fishy is definitely going on here, and Jacob might be part of it. But remember what it took our parents to be Mortmain? It was all a puzzle, and the pieces fit together. We just need to find the rest of the pieces and put them together. But it will take time. Patience is a virtue. Now, let's all go to our rooms and get settled in.
I would just like to say, this next part of the story, I'm so sorry.
Whatever you say, Captain. Connor replies mockingly. I snap. Nate is the only one of us talking any sense here. But of course, you have to go be all Connor like and start mocking him too. He's actually trying to help. You just make everything a joke. What about when it leads to someone's death like your father, huh? Then what's a joke? You don't know anything about my father. You're just saying all that because you're in love with Nate. That's not true. And you know that you're gonna mess everything up like you always do. I'm still leading the group like I've always been. No, Nate leads the group, and you just take credit for it because girls swoon over your hotness and you flirt with even when you have a girlfriend. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if you already cheated on Brooke. Connor's face turns extremely red and he says,
I know what's coming and I'm so sad.
I would never cheat on Brooke, and who are you to be talking, Little Miss Virgin? You've never had a boyfriend. Heck, you've never even had a guy like you. Don't use the fact that I have morals against me. And you don't know anything about my love life. Maybe you guys have asked me out and I just said no because I'm waiting for someone else. Right, and that someone else is Nate. Did you ever think of how I would feel with my cousin dating my Parabatai? Because you and Brooke totally consulted Mai before you two started dating, right? I storm out of the room. I can't believe Connor. Now he gets to decide who I date too. What do Brooke and Nate even see in him? If it were for them, I'd probably have tried to murder him or something. End chapter 2. I remember when you came to school and you showed us this. And we were like, wow! And you went home and you wrote more and you brought her back. Brooke sighs and says, you've been ignoring him for 2 weeks now. Can't you just forgive him? No, Brooke, I can't. Now just drop it. I don't care if he's your boyfriend and my cousin. I don't want to be friends with him anymore, I snap. If not friends, at least be acquaintances. Brooklyn, Cecily, Verlac, I am not forgetting Connor. Fine, but will you at least give him a chance to explain? Just come to the art room at 5 p.m.
What about an art room in Shadow Hunter training school?
Fine, it's better to just go along with Brooke on this sort of thing. I don't care if Connor apologized for insulting me 2 weeks ago. I wanted to make up for almost getting me killed. I go to the art room to meet Connor and let him explain, as Brooke puts it. Connor, Brooke, and Nate are in there. I look at Connor and say, you've got 5 minutes. He says, I'm sorry for being mean to you 2 weeks ago, but I've apologized a bunch of the times and you just won't let it go. And meanwhile, you said some pretty mean stuff to me and you still haven't apologized. I don't know what you want, but I'm done with you acting like a brat.
A+ explanation.
Just let him explain why there's a problem. You're a bitch. I didn't do anything wrong. You just make everything like the Connor show. I would not watch that. That show would get canceled after the first episode. How do you think it feels being a side character in my own life? Connor is the bad boy and all the girls want to date. Brooklyn is the perfect girl every girl wants to be. Nate is the sweetheart that keeps everyone together. And who's Ariana? She's just there. Connor responds, everyone is always telling you how beautiful you are, how nice you are, how intelligent you are, but you just keep making yourself the victim. You just have to be the center of everything, don't you? No, Connor, that's what you have to be. You think the world revolves around you. No, I do not. You keep trying to make me the bad guy when really you're doing this to yourself. I'm done apologizing to you and I'm done dealing with you. If you weren't my cousin and Brooke's best friend, I wouldn't have even left you into our group. Great apology. Amazing. He storms out with Brooke and Nate running after him, but not without Nate mouthing, I'm sorry, to me and Brooke, giving me a sympathetic glance. I'm about to leave when I turn around and see him. Hello, Ariana. Long time no see, my niece, Claire says. You're no aunt of mine. Just leave me alone, I reply. She smiles and says, but I can't. My mother needs your power, and I must take you back to her. I'm unique. I have a special gift. I'm the chosen one. Don't worry about it. It's no biggie. No, you come willingly or unwillingly. Her smile fades and turns into a glare. Claire Lilith Lightwood. She is the illegitimate daughter of Benedict Lightwood and Lilith, the greater demon. And I know what you're thinking. A shadow hunter and a demon can only have a baby if the shadow hunter has no runes. No, we were not thinking that. Nobody was thinking that. But this is Lilith we're talking about. I don't know exactly what happened, but she did some greater demon stuff and then came Claire. A few hours later. I wake up. Wait, was I unconscious? Wait, what happened? Who am I even talking to? I'm so confused. Oh, you're awake, finally. Some lady I don't know says. I ask, can you tell me where I am? And who are you? She looks at me weirdly and asks, is this some sort of test? I look at her blankly. Why would I be testing her? I answer, no, at least I don't think so. Something in her expression changes and she smiles and says, I am Claire, your half-aunt. Can you be a half... Is that a thing?
You can't be a half-aunt.
I don't think it's a thing. I've been taking care of you ever since your parents died when you were a toddler. It was a tragic death. I still miss my half-brother. But anyways, this is where we live. Well, over the course of the year, you stay at your school, but you were feeling sick, so they sent you home. Okay, I reply. I believe her. I mean, why wouldn't I? Because you don't know who she is? Maybe? What reason would she have to lie to me? But it's pretty sad that I can't even remember my own parents' death. Oh, and our mission is to get rid of angel shadow hunters and make demon shadow hunters to kill the angels. Isn't that changing the purpose of being a shadow hunter, I ask? She comes over and says, no, sweetheart. Demon shadow hunters are more powerful. Oh, okay. I smile and respond. So my name is Ariana Isabel Lightwood. I live with my half-aunt Claire, go to a shadow hunting, and am on a mission to destroy angel shadow hunters and make a new breed of demon shadow shadow hunters. Also, did she like get brainwashed or something?
Yes, she woke up and she had amnesia. So this lady just said some stuff and she was like, yes ma'am.
If you go into a dissociative fugue, you don't just go, okay, anything everyone says from now on is now ingrained into my brain as truth. Claire's POV, I thought this was going to be so much harder. But amnesia? Now she'll believe anything I tell her. This is almost too easy. I spent my whole life getting ready for this. The world will finally be rid of angel shadow hunters. Demon shadow hunters will rule and we will rid the world of mundanes. Because I finally have her. Ariana Isabel Lightwood, the first lethal weapon. Well, can I just say, that was a wild ride. I will not be riding again. And that was, Anyway, moving on. So this video, while we're recording this, it's like all over the place. We're gonna have to split this into at least 2 parts. I guess this is the outro time?
Yeah, honestly though, despite the fact that I forced Andrew to sit here and film this with me for like 5 hours, I had a fun time.
Yeah.
And I hope that the final product will be enjoyable, because at the end of the day, this video was just supposed to make everyone laugh. So I hope it made you laugh. Yeah, that's about all for this video. There'll probably be a part 2. If there is, we'll link it. But with that, that is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a like and subscribe, because that stuff makes me happy. And please comment down below. Let us know which of these was the worst to hear. Let us know which one caused you the most pain.
Let us know what you wrote fanfics about.
As usual, all of my social media and my Goodreads will be in the description below. Andrew has no social media, so it won't be in the description below.
Visit my website, I guess?
So I'll link his website in the description below. And that's about all. Thank you all so much for watching and for sitting through this. And thank you, a big thank you to Andrew for sitting through this.
Yes.
Give this video a like to support Andrew. And that's all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Please remember that you are beautiful and you deserve the world, and I will see you soon for a brand new video. Goodbye! Demon pox, oh demon pox, just how is it acquired? One must go down to the very bad part of town until one is very tired. Demon pox, oh demon pox, I had it all along. No, not the pox, you stupid blocks, I mean this very song. For I was right and you were wrong.